if it's properly built, it's reliable.
Gotcha. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Sub2 Club channel. So we're here at Renner Racing Development with Damyan. This is the place to be. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And just explain to everyone what you do and what your specialty is maybe of the shop.
Yeah, well, my name's Damyan. I'm with Renner Racing Development. We are a Subaru performance shop. We only do Subarus, and we do pretty much everything for Subarus, from basic maintenance to this type of stuff.
Cool. So how did you get into track day, time attack, that kind of stuff?
So lucky for me, I was
born into it.
Yeah. My grandparents raced rally cars in Bulgaria, where we're from. My grandma still races at
Your grandmother
74,
races?
75 years old. She still races. My uncle and my dad, they started racing in Bulgaria, and then when they came over here, they continued. So they started going through Streets of Willow, Buttonwillow, all the regular tracks around here in SoCal, and eventually they started competing in time attack, and then eventually I was of age, and 2 weeks after I got my driver's license, I went to the track.
And then this happened, right?
And then after some years, this ended up happening, yeah, with some other testing cars in between.
Have you always had Subarus then?
Always. Well, so the original shop, which was ran by my uncle, it was Renner Motorsport, and they were, back in the day, they were doing Volkswagens, BMWs, Evos, and then when Subarus came around, it was mainly Subaru focused. And as the years rolled by, it became more and more Subaru oriented. And then when we opened Renner Racing Development, it became strictly Subaru, nothing else. So I've personally been always around Subarus. So.
Gotcha. What is your, I guess, favorite car?
The 22B.
22B?
Yeah, the Subaru 22B, that's the holy grail.
Yeah. I mean, sadly, they're not like available in the States, right?
No, which is why we resort to making the replicas.
Right. Okay, cool. What's your favorite track and why?
It would have to be Buttonwillow for sure.
Okay.
Buttonwillow 100%. I think Buttonwillow has all the technical turns, has fast turns, has overall everything that you look for in a track, all in one track. And on top of that, for us, it's the benchmark in North American time attack.
Yes.
So definitely Buttonwillow.
Okay. Any other tracks besides?
I really enjoyed Chakwala. I also enjoyed the flowing turns of Chakwala in the second favorite.
Okay. Cool. Do you have a dream car?
To be honest with you, I already have my dream car. I've been fortunate enough to already have it, which is the 22B, of course.
Okay.
I've been fortunate enough to where my dad, luckily, he is an absolute master when it comes to the 22Bs, and the dark blue one that's his, and we are currently building another one as well.
Gotcha.
I had another 22B which we sold last year, and they're all perfect. So my dad is very good at making those cars, and when it comes to making them replicas, obviously, body kit, but creating them with perfect than factory lines, gaps, which is the hardest thing when it comes to those cars. And I've been fortunate enough that we already built one.
Gotcha. Let's get into that a little bit. So do customers buy a car and send it to you, or do you guys buy a car and then just start from scratch?
When it comes to the 22Bs, customer generally already have the GC that they want to build. And from there, each one that we've built so far is absolutely custom.
Okay.
So because it gives you the opportunity to create the car with whatever way you want, essentially. It's like you're going into a dealership, sitting down and inspecting your car. Every car is different, and some people have donor cars, some people have the swaps pieced together and they bring them, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You
can pretty much do anything, whatever the customer desires.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, we have customers who want a bar legal stock STI swapped. Then we have other customers who want full-blown time attack cars. So, and everything in between.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, if anyone watching is interested in 22B, this is the guy to hit up and get information. They have some beautiful cars. Some cars in progress that we cannot show yet, but make sure to follow Damyan, his crew, and check out their upcoming 22B. All right, Damyan, what are we looking at? What year is this? What kind of car is this?
This is originally a 2000 RS.
2000, okay.
This car was actually originally built for a customer, and it was a stock STI 22B replica, which eventually we purchased off of him. And now it's my dad's track car, which I occasionally get to drive as well. The car at this point is a full track car. It does not get driven on the street. It has a fully built motor. It pushes about 485 to the wheels.
Okay.
It has JRZ suspension. It has Weissfab knuckles. It has mild aero, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
It has a cage in it. It has the 2 seats. Like I said, it's a track only car.
Let's start with the chassis. So what kind of you said JRZs?
JRZs.
A two-way, three-way?
It's a two-way. The
Two-way.
RS2.
Okay, RS2, and what kind of brakes?
These are the AP Racing Radical 2 370 millimeters,
Badass.
which are a tight fit, but they work great.
What kind of pads?
This is on the Hawk DTC 70s.
Gotcha. And running RT660?
Yes, in the last, a month ago we were at Global Time Attack and we ran the RT660s.
Gotcha. And what about the rear set? Or actually, in the front, what kind of arms do you have?
The control arms are stock.
All stock?
The knuckles are Weissfab.
Gotcha. Nice. And on the rear, I assume...
The rear is also AP Racings. They're not the Radical 2 ones.
Okay.
They're the previous generation. They pair quite nicely.
Gotcha. Do you have like a custom proportioning valve, or is it all proportioning valve? Is it all stock, or?
It's the stock.
Okay.
Yeah,
stock.
it uses the stock system still.
Okay.
Use stock ABS system.
Gotcha.
As far as the suspension in the rear, I think the only thing that car has, if my mind's not playing tricks, is only adjustable lateral links.
Gotcha.
And sway bars.
Wow. Doesn't take much, huh?
No, not when you have a good setup of coilovers.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. Normally, this car also has a street trim, which is without the big wing and without the splitter, and it looks like a nice, pretty 22B. But then this is the battle arrow. This is the battle trim.
All the fenders, the rear fender is molded on, huh? It looks like.
Yes, this uses the now not available AeroZim body kit, which is slightly wider than the regular 22Bs, and even than the WRC S5s and so.
Yeah.
And it's completely molded, so the quarter panels have to be cut a little bit for clearance, and then we just mold this on top of it.
Gotcha. It looks like you have like the inner fenders too.
Yes.
Wow, the level of craftsmanship is high up there. Cool. On the exterior, besides the wide fenders, what have you done?
Nothing. The only thing this car has is the wide body kit. It has an aluminum hood. And then the arrow. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Maybe the taillights?
No, the taillights are still the USDM ones.
Gotcha.
We still haven't got around to swapping over to the JDM ones.
What about the front?
The front is still RS.
Gotcha.
Yeah, still the American
cool.
RS one.
It's keeping the 2.5 spirit, huh?
Not for long.
Not for long. Can we see the engine?
Oh yeah.
And the splitter is RS feature?
The side plates are RS Future. The splitter itself is a custom made here.
Gotcha. Oh, you guys do this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you guys pretty much do everything: engines, suspension, and bodywork.
When it comes to 22Bs, we do the body work. We can do fender flares as well, but we try to stay away from bigger body work than that.
Gotcha. But obviously it gets painted somewhere else.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And you mentioned aluminum. Is there a reason why you went to go?
Way lighter, even lighter than some of the carbon fiber options.
Really?
available. Yeah.
Okay. Is that a stock hood out of some car, or?
It came on some cars.
Okay.
The aluminum one came on some cars. It's rare. Nowadays, it's expensive to find.
Yeah.
It's rare to find. Luckily, we had one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And over here we have it's a closed deck EJ257.
Okay.
Stock heads. It has a front mount intercooler. It has a 1.5 XTR Blouch turbo with a 3-inch inlet. Still on stock headers to retain the beautiful Subaru sound. And then just an aero separator, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
It's keeping it simple.
Gotcha. That's always the key, seems.
This car has been a seat time car.
Gotcha.
The previous setup on this, which made about 400 horsepower, the car on a just pistons and rods motor, we tried to count, it had about 350 hot laps.
Wow.
And no problems. Over the course of 2 years, 350 hot laps, didn't skip a beat.
Gotcha. Because I was gonna ask, the perception of Subaru engines from people that don't own a Subaru is that Subarus are not the most reliable engines at the track. So what is your opinion on that?
If it's properly built, it's reliable.
Gotcha.
Simple as that. That notion comes from seeing people try to do things with the car that it's not built to do. When something's not built to do something, it's not going to do it.
Right.
But these cars, if anyone out there wants a reliable Subaru for the track, there are recipes for this.
Gotcha.
Like I said, the previous setup was 400 to the wheels, and we abused it in 110, 115 degree weather. The car didn't skip a beat. You're running E85, you have oil cooler, you have the supporting mods in order for the car to breathe. There's no reason the car should not be reliable.
Gotcha. Cool. So that's the oil. Is that oil?
Aero separator.
Oh, air separator. Okay. For the oil, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's mainly to maintain the crankcase ventilation.
Right. That's the biggest one, turbo engines, right? It looks like you set up the coilover so that you're running a little more caster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, we've been battling with the suspension on this car a little bit to find a good setup. We previously had a different set of coilovers on this car, and we had a lot of issues with it as it wasn't valved correctly. It was too soft. So around Buttonwillow, when you start getting a little faster and you start going through bus stop and Riverside, the car starts to get bouncy.
Yeah.
So then you look for corrections in that aspect.
Can you share a spring rate for this setup?
But I don't remember what it was.
Okay. What do they generally run for, like a Buttonwillow car or like a track car?
Every car is different. Depends on the tire,
The weight,
the compound of the tire, the aero, the weight of the car. Every car is different. The reason I don't remember it on this car is because we ended up swapping them out multiple times.
I see. Gotcha. So if a customer brings a car to you and say, "Oh, I want to go to Buttonwillow," you'll pretty much calculate, or you'll determine what the spring rate should be, and then recommend that. Is that
Yeah,
usually
at
how
that
it goes?
point we will take into consideration the aero, tires that are going to be ran, the weight of the car, and then if we're not 100% sure, then Frank at JRZ is always happy to help, and he's a guru at setting up those cars. We also work with Ken from Coherent Chassis Works. He's the one who sets up the cars, the suspension actually.
Gotcha.
He's been a tremendous help in setting up this car, the race car as well, and we always value his opinion as well when it comes to that.
Okay. Very cool. What kind of fuel injectors? What size?
This one's on 1300s.
1300.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, like you said, very simple.
Yeah, simplicity is key.
Yeah.
When you start overcomplicating things, that's when you have more things to go wrong.
There you go. There you go. All right. So the headlights look, I guess, newer, right? They're like OEM style or OEM.
They're OEM.
Oh,
Yeah.
big baller parts, I'm sure. They're not cheap, right?
No.
Intercooler. What kind of ECU are you running?
This one is using a stock ECU and it's tuned through the Cobb access port.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Another way to just keep it simple, once you start going standalone, it gets a little bit trickier. Granted, safer for sure.
Uh-huh.
A lot more things to play with. Cars usually do a lot better on a Haltech, for example. But in the spirit of keeping things simple, just the access port.
Got it. And then the bumper is, what is that bumper?
The bumper is a part of the Aeros M22B kit.
Gotcha. It's beautiful. All right. Can we see the trunk as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
There
pull it
are
up?
A lot of
Wait,
Subarus
let me see.
here.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Simple in the back too. Is I see that you have a surge tank.
Yeah.
Is that a common issue for Subarus to have?
Very.
Okay.
Yes. If you start tracking and you start getting a little faster, you start getting fuel cuts in more sweeping turns.
Yeah.
And granted, even then, there's a solution. You can just run a full tank all the time, but it's more tedious. Car's heavier.
Mm-hmm.
It's great for when people are starting out and still learning. You don't have to go with that right away. But when you get a little bit serious, starting to put a little bit more power, it's definitely a necessity.
Okay. So on this car, what is the current weight and power?
Last time we weighed it, I believe this car was 29 or 2950 in that area.
Okay.
And it pushes 485.
485. And what kind of lap times are you doing with this?
So the fastest this car specifically has gone around Buttonwillow is 153.
Jeez, that's fast.
It has the potential of going to a 52, 51.
Yeah, yeah.
Just got to play around with tires, suspension,
Right.
and whatnot. But power is definitely not the issue.
Yeah. Well, there's not many cars that go 153 and look this clean. I'll tell you that. That's awesome. What kind of tires are you running? Sorry,
The tires?
I mean, not the brand, but
The
what size?
sizing?
Yeah.
265.
All the way around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Square.
Gotcha.
This car can potentially take a little bit more, but then you start running into issues with rubbing, and well, who wants that?
Gotcha.
We had a car, it was actually my uncle's car, which was the identical body kit, and he at some point had 285s on it, but with very aggressive camber.
I see.
And like I said, luckily this is a wider body kit than what they normally come on, for example, the Project or just a regular 22B. This car is wider, so we're blessed in that way. We can fit a little bit more tire for the track.
Let's see the inside. Again, simple. Looks like a stock car minus the cage.
Yeah. Halo seats, rear seat deletes.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Very 90s interior.
Oh yeah.
So you just have a quick release.
Yeah, quick
and
release.
aftermarket steering wheel. That's it, huh?
Yeah, very simple.
Even the shift knob is stock, looks like. Or
Yeah, that's the stock STI.
That's cool. Do you guys do the cage in-house too?
No,
Okay.
this we usually send out to our friend Ed at Mobile Weld Specialist.
Gotcha.
He's the one that does all the cages for the cars.
Nice, nice. It's not easy putting back all the stock stuff on the roof.
Yeah, no,
right?
generally, you know, we didn't build this car initially for us, so the cage would have looked different if it was our car to begin with. So a lot of things like the cage is a little funky because of that. It has the roof liner. Those are things that we normally would take off. This car will soon get a carbon fiber roof, so that will be deleted at that point.
Gotcha. What is the goal with this car?
Seat time.
Seat time. Okay.
Seat time. Our goal is we have another one in the works, which is going to be identical to this power-wise, suspension-wise. Everything is going to be identical, and the goal is for me and my dad to go chase each other in those cars.
Nice. All right. So this is the Monster. What kind of time did this car do?
This one at Buttonwillow did 144.1.
Jeez. God, that's fast. Right now it looks like it's empty, but was the engine spec similar to the one we saw?
No, completely different.
Completely different.
Yeah. Right now the car's going undergoing a big change.
Gotcha.
We're making some big changes to the car.
Yeah.
And plan to attack the limited class record.
Gotcha.
Well, right now the goal is 42.
42.
42 flat is the goal.
Oh.
Potentially it can be even faster. I think even in the last trim of the car had it to beat the record. It didn't happen for us. Unfortunately, the last time we were at Buttonwillow with this one, we dealt with a lot of issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just didn't happen.
Right.
So we just decided for next time the car comes out, it will be even better.
Gotcha.
So we plan on shaving off, hopefully, 150 pounds off of it. It's going to 315s rather than the 295s we previously ran. And those are the big changes. We did plan on swapping out turbo setup and messing around with the power, but this car has been great when it comes to power.
Okay.
Doesn't need more than that.
How much does it weigh?
Last time we weighed it with the full aero, it was 2,500 pounds.
2,500. Wow. So you think you can shave another 150?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, or I should say fortunately for now, the rear quarter panel is, this is one of the this car was originally a 22B as well. It used the HG Autos body kit.
Okay.
And that body kit was very thick.
Oh.
And luckily the rear quarter panels are still there, heavy, so that's gonna shave off a lot of weight.
Gotcha.
We decided to go away from the dry sump system, which was also heavy in its own way. So now we went back to wet sump, which shaved off a significant amount of weight. We swapped over the brakes that you saw on the other car. They used to be on this car. We swapped these over. These are 25 pounds lighter, and this is unsprung weight.
Yeah.
So that'll be different.
That is money. Such a beautiful brake, man. Wow. What kind of suspension are you running on this car?
Again, the same JRZs.
Okay, gotcha. Can't go wrong with the JRZ.
Can't go wrong with JRZ.
Looks like subframe is all custom too.
Both subframes are tubular TTS fab.
In the rear too?
The rear as well. The rear has the geometry correction.
Gotcha.
It has, I believe it was 2-inch longer trailing arms.
Gotcha.
And the control arms as well are also tubular by TSS fab.
Gotcha. Wow.
Next time the car comes out, it will be a lot wider.
Yeah,
so
even wider than now?
Even wider than this.
Oh,
So
man.
we have a different set of, we have these fenders, but not carbon, the fiberglass ones, which we will mod to become wider. so we can fit the 315s.
Uh-huh.
So in the front and the rear, it's going to be even wider than it already is.
I like how you guys did the jacking points.
Yeah, so the car has a full flat bottom.
Gotcha.
So that's the only way to jack up the car.
Yeah. Roll bar is, or roll cage is a lot more heavy duty, it looks like. Wow. Very cool. I like how all your cars have the inner fender. That's a lot of extra time and effort, right? But making it perfect.
Yeah,
So
that's the idea.
That's the idea, yeah. Very cool. Do you guys have a diffuser on this car?
We do. Yeah,
Okay.
it's off right now, but there's a full diffuser that blends into the flat bottom.
Cool. Custom trunk as well?
Yes. So some of the components, including the trunk, the fenders, the hood, and the front bumper, they were made by Spinnaker Composites, and they were made out of very thin carbon in order to shave more
Lighter,
weight.
yeah.
And then we have the added-on lip as well on the trunk. This car does have the RS Future aero, so it has the RS Future wing, it has the RS Future splitter.
Very cool. And this one runs Haltech, it looks like?
This one is on Haltech, correct.
And what kind of transmission is that?
It's the PPG 6-speed sequential.
Yeah. Is that the most common choice for Subarus?
There's a lot of choices. It's the choice that we decided to go with.
Gotcha.
Haven't had a single issue with it.
Right.
Holds all the power that it needs to. There are other options available, but this is the one that we prefer.
Gotcha. Okay. So some of the questions that I have is, first, what does sub 2 mean to you?
Sub 2, going sub 2 means a lot on its own. You're going over a threshold. And man, the first time I went sub 2, which was, I believe it was like 159.4 the first time I went sub 50. I thought I was the fastest guy on the street. It was, it's definitely the first benchmark at Willow.
Gotcha. And what things about life do you learn through cars?
Everything.
Yeah.
You can learn everything. I mean,
I see your tattoo on the right. I think you learned that the most, right?
that's definitely required when it comes to cars. When it comes to race cars, when it comes to racing, you need patience, a lot of it. You know, you learn a lot because you're forced to do things that most normal people would not do to race these cars. Most normal people would not do the long nights. They would not do the crazy hours of not only building the car but spending time on track, traveling, and so on. During that time, you build lifelong relationships. So, and each one of those people, they teach you stuff. That it makes you grow as a person. I think it's great, as long as you have the patience for it.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. Very cool car. All right, I think that sums it up. Thank you so much, Damyan, for showing me your car. It's a beautiful car. Yeah, the 22B that we cannot quite show yet. I have a glimpse at it, and it's a beautiful car. So, any final thing you want to say to the audience?
We're here. If you guys have any Subaru-related questions, we are more than happy to help. You can reach us through Instagram, through email, on our website. Give me a phone call. We can chat about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you at the next one.